Okay, we'll try another video, in which case hopefully I will not become maudlin or depressed or sad or depressing. Again, I have some props here, or sort of props here. Let's see. This is a picture of me. This is my passport photo. It's also my ID photo. It is unusual because it is one of the few pictures of me that I find even halfway acceptable. I'm not quite as jowly anymore. That was taken like a year or two ago. That's basically what I look like: square-jawed, uneven-eyed, odd hair, you know, the whole bit. That I'm wearing a white shirt and a tie that was a gift from a student, and I'm wearing a black leather trench coat because I had to be photographed on a white background, and the guy told me that I couldn't wear the white shirt to the white background because I'd get whited out, so I had to put on the coat that I was wearing, which was a full-length leather trench coat, of which I now have two. My old trench coat, which I wore for about 10 years, I've set aside in a Foot Locker in case, in case you ever wanted it, in case you ever wanted to wear it. The other leather trench coat I purchased new a few years ago, and I proceeded to immediately not wear. Here is a notebook, one of the many notebooks that I've purchased in Korea, and the reason I purchased this particular one, let me see if I can get it, is because it's in French. The quotations on it, I'm not certain exactly what it says. I'm assuming that the unexamined life is not worth living or something like that, but I thought of you as I was looking through the notebooks, and I saw the one in French, and I thought of you and your love of French and speaking French. So I have this notebook, and in the notebook I began to write down things for my diet, and I decided that okay, we don't need to go into my diet. We're staying away from the negative topics. So on to positive things. Speaking of thinking of you, for whatever reason on Korean television, they are playing The Demon Barber of Fleet Street, Sweeney Todd. It's the Johnny Depp movie, and yes, I love Johnny Depp. Of course, he rocks. I did not like him as Willy Wonka. That's really the only Johnny Depp movie that I did not like. I love the Gene Wilder Willy Wonka too much, and I just think that the Johnny Depp Willy Wonka just seems too much like a pedophile, or Michael Jackson, or pretty much the same thing, synonyms. So, although I really like almost everything else he's ever done, that particular movie was not my cup of tea. However, Sweeney Todd makes me think of you because you played in Sweeney, and you've written blog entries about Sweeney, and I've seen the makeup for, I believe it was makeup for Sweeney. I've seen some pictures, and so every time I happen to run across it on television, I watch it until I watch the entire movie, which means that now, thanks to my associating it with you, I have stayed up all night 4 times watching the movie, because it usually comes on around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, like right now. So if I were to turn on the television, I might see Sweeney Todd, and then I'd watch it all night thinking about you acting in it, and go to sleep, say, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Now, normally that's not a problem because my teaching schedule is an evening teaching schedule. My first class begins usually at 4 p.m., which means I go into class at 2 p.m., and so sleeping until 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. is not a problem. It's almost like an afternoon shift. However, tomorrow I have a brand new teacher that I have to orient to the school. I have to to show her the way to the school. I have to teach her about the classes, and so I have to get up fairly early. So I'm not going to turn on the television because I do not want to run the risk of seeing Sweeney Todd, because if I do see Sweeney Todd, then perhaps I would feel that I need to watch the rest of the movie, and that will cause me to lose the entire evening. Props. This is a pen that was given to me 2 Christmases ago by my niece Jessica. Now, it no longer actually is a pen. It's a pen-like thing. There used to be a nib, a pen that came here and went into, extended beyond this point, but it was an inexpensive pen, and the ink did not last for very long, so I need a replacement. However, it is kind of a cool little spinner-turner thing, and it is the first gift that Jessica has purchased for me. She's made several things for me, but she hasn't purchased anything previously. Of course, I have everything that she's ever made for me as well as this, but I just can't bring myself to discard it, even though it is no longer useful as a pen. I'm sure that there's got to be some other use. If I played games in classes with my students, I'd use it as a spinner, and so right now it's just an interesting paperweight, but I don't usually have papers on my desk. This was another gift from a student who had gone to Switzerland. This one will probably be passed along to Jessica. The useful things that I'm given as gifts, the notebooks, the origami paper that has not been folded, pens and pencils, erasers, those I usually pass along to Jessica or Joshua when I go back home. And I go back home twice a year usually. The next time I will be returning to the States is June 18th, and I will be staying until July 8th this year. I'll be down in Lower State, Michigan. I arrive, I believe, at Detroit Metro Airport on the 18th in the middle of the day after a 30-some-odd hour trip. And I'll be back in Michigan for 3 weeks. It works out to be like 18 days or something like that. Anyway, so there's this. Let's see, what else do I have handy to reach and show? This is, let's see, this is Energel 0.07. This is the red pen of choice. This is the weapon that I use to bleed all over student papers. It flows very well when I write with it. I used to use a fountain pen with red ink cartridges or red ink that you would draw up. However, the problem with using the fountain pen for that is this pen gets knocked around quite a bit, and when I would use a fountain pen that way, it would cause some leaks, and since I was a geek and had it in my pocket, it would cause some leaks into my pocket. So now I leave my fountain pens on my desk and use them when I'm writing for longer periods of time, but when I'm marking papers, the red Energel pen is the weapon of choice. Let's see, anything else handy within the room I can reach down and grab? Not really seeing it. I have 1 minute left on this, so I need to fill a minute with something. So let's see. What is, I'm sure you know the answer to this riddle, what is more powerful than God, more evil than the devil? Rich people want it, poor people have it, and if you eat it, you will die. That's one of those riddles that I think a lot of people have heard and have had it told to them, and I'm certain that you're one of those people who was able to solve it on her own without anyone giving you a hint or without anybody telling you the answer. I'm rather proud of myself because I also am one of those people who was able to solve it without being told what the answer was, and in relatively short time. Much to the chagrin of the person who told me the riddle, who expected me to be stumped for quite a while. 10 seconds left. Have a wonderful day, Cheyenne. I am thinking of you. I know I keep saying I love you at the end or at the beginning of the videos, and maybe you don't want to hear it, maybe you do. But it is a wonderful feeling for me to be able to actually say it and know that you'll hear it instead of speaking into the empty night. So I love you, Cheyenne. Have a wonderful day.